What's up, guys? First of all, Happy New Year. Um, Cheers to 2021. Hopefully, it's better than 2020, but only time will tell. Today, we are talking about Black Sabbath, their ninth studio album, Heaven and Hell. So, the year is about 1979, and the band is having problems with Ozzy. Um, as they put it, especially Tony, he just wasn't really into the music anymore. Um, he just he would show up late to rehearsals. Um, he just felt really disconnected from the band, and a lot of this had to do with drugs. Um, Apparently, they were all taking um, heavy drugs, but according to the rest of the band, Tony especially, because Tony, I've only really heard Tony um, say things about the Ozzy firing. Um, Drugs just kind of hit Ozzy the hardest, according to Tony. Um, he just, like I said, he just wasn't interested anymore, according to Tony, and he just felt really disconnected from the music, and so they either had to break up, um, or get a new singer because their frontman was now kind of destroying the band from the inside out, which is kind of sad because obviously they had a fantastic run in the 70s. Um, so unfortunately, I'm not sure whose job it was to tell them that, hey, you're out of the band. But the band decided to move forward because they knew that they still wanted to make music. Um, so Ozzy's out. So who becomes their new lead singer? Well, it just so happens that Ronnie James Dio from the band Rainbow was sort of a musical free agent at this time, because he had just quit his band Rainbow because Richie Blackmore, the guitarist for Rainbow, kind of wanted to go in a more mainstream kind of radio friendly direction that Dio just couldn't really get behind. He couldn't really dig. So with this great talented singer that we'll get to, that we'll get to more, and a band looking for a singer, um, they kind of just found each other. There's the whole Sharon Osbourne, um, yeah, the whole Sharon Osbourne suggesting to her dad, which was the manager of Black Sabbath, that they should check out this Ronnie James Dio guy. But that's a whole different story. I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, so yeah, so with Ronnie James Dio as their new singer, what would their album sound like? Because he's obviously a very, very different singer to Ozzy. You got two completely different styles, almost a Bruce and Blaze sort of situation, but kind of flipped, and they're different styles is basically just what I'm trying to say. Um, so in 1980, they came out with Heaven and Hell. So let's jump into the tracks. All right, first song on the album is called Neon Nights. Very upbeat song, very, you know, kind of, this is our fresh beginning, like, listen to us, listen to this, just great, upbeat, fast song, that's really got Dio written all over it. Um, he was very much a part of the writing process of this album, and you can tell in the lyrics. I mean, Not saying that he wrote all the album, because obviously before this, Geezer had a heavy hand in writing the lyrics, and yeah, I'm sure Geezer still wrote some lyrics for this album, but Dio is sprinkled into this album everywhere. Yeah, Neon Nights, very fast, very up tempo, and lyrically, um, it's got what Dio would be known for later on in his career, but the the wizards, the magic, the mystery, the fantasy, that sort of thing. Just neon nights. Um, yeah, circles and rings, dragons and kings, caught by the caught by the spell, something like that. Sorry, I don't have the lyrics in front of me. Anyway, yeah, very very Dio, very upbeat. Um, yeah, magic and fantasy. Um, Great first track to not only introduce your new lead singer, but it's very upbeat and very grabs you by the hand and says, "Listen to this. This is who we are now." All right, next song on the album is called "Children of the Sea," and it starts out um, with this great acoustic part from Tony. Um, and Dio is just singing beautifully over it. In the misty morning, on the edge of time, we've we've lost the rising sun, a final sign, and he's just singing beautifully over this acoustic part, and then reaching for the stars, we blind the sky. He goes into his real grit to kind of show you what's to come with the song, and the song is just kind of a slow burner, um, with the tempo plus the kind of acoustic part that would come again in the bridge. This is almost the if this if this album kind of had a mid tempo ballad. If this is what you wanted to classify it as, I could see where you'd classify that as like a mid tempo, slow burning ballad. With each line, just Dio really draws you in and just keeps um, making you want more until you get to the bridge. It's the and they go back to kind of the intro with the acoustic part. It just really draws you in. That's the best way I can describe it. Just really draws you in. Just makes you really want to know what the next line is, what the next phrase is. Guitar wise, vocal wise. Yeah, it's a slow burner, and it's pretty great. All right, next song on the album is called "Lady Evil," and right from the get go, the bass line and then Dio's lyrics. Um, oh gosh. Oh yeah, just south of Witches Valley, where they say the wind won't blow. You get this sense of kind of this cocky swagger sort of thing. Everything from the music behind it to how Dio is portraying these lyrics. It's just got this swagger, confidence, kind of arrogance sort of thing, which is pretty cool. Um, with that being said, it's a decent song. It's not great. Um, it's not exactly filler, but I will skip it occasionally. But yeah, it's got that great kind of swagger, just that like you know chest out sort of thing. It's a decent song, but it's not a great song. All right, next song on the album is the title track, "Heaven and Hell." Um, and sometimes you know to be great, you can still be simple and be great, which is exactly what the main riff is. Very powerful, very Tony just lets the guitar part, the main riff, just kind of ring, and it creates great room for Geezer to do like some thumping bass lines underneath. Um, yeah, it just and then just because there's so much room to breathe, when Dio comes in, it sounds very powerful. And this song is a song that you could just write, like, you could write an essay on the lyrics alone. Like, we're not even talking about the music, like, just the lyrics alone. Sing me a song, you're a singer. Do me a wrong, you're a bringer of evil. Just kind of that good versus evil side of kind of tug of war sort of thing. Um, Yeah. And then you get to about halfway through the song, and Tony does a pretty good solo. Um, it kind of goes in and then kind of comes back and goes in and then comes back. Um, Obviously, that's a great production choice. The reverb on this guitar solo is pretty great. Um, and then you get to the second half. They say that life's a carousel, spinning fast, you've got to ride it well. The world is full of kings and queens, will blind your eyes and steal your dreams. I mean, I know I'm kind of doing like, just reading the lyrics word for word, but I mean, these lyrics are fantastic. Um, you've got to bleed for the dancer. That is, completely up to you what that means. Like, that's really up for interpretation, and just makes you wonder, and it just sticks in your head and makes you want to listen to it again. um Fantastic song. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. Musically, lyrically, dynamics, fantastic song. Awesome title track. All right, next song on the album is called Wishing Well. And this is a decent song. Um, it's sort of upbeat, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. It's not very memorable. Um, like, it's literally not very memorable. I'm trying to remember some things, and I've listened to this album recently. I promise. It's just not very memorable. It's sort of upbeat, and that's kind of all I can give it. It's sort of fillerish. So yeah. All right. Next song on the album is called "Die Young," and you start this song with some great synths, some great this, like, very kind of majestic, magical synths. That, at least that's what I get from the sort of from the intro. And if you haven't gotten a sense already, this is a very different um, era, style of Black Sabbath. The band did a great job at kind of, not to say, like I said, the '70s was great. Don't get me wrong, but they did a great job at kind of shedding their old skin on this album and making something new, and fans could recognize it as something new, as something fresh, as, like I said, with Neon Nights, kind of like, here we are, here's the direction we're going. Like, come listen to come listen to something that we've never done before as a band, as Black Sabbath. And that's kind of what you get with this intro. Like I said, if you haven't gotten that already with the other songs. Um, that's what you get with this intro, and Tony is playing some really great guitar parts over this synth, and he really shines. His guitar really shines on this song. He just kind of draws you in, and then it's just like boom, just hits. You get more of the fast pace. That's sort of Children of the Sea. Not well, just kind of, we're gonna start slow and then just kind of boom, just kind of hit you, and kind of a lightning fast solo by Tony in the intro, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah. super super fast. I believe, even though it's not the last song on the album, I believe this is the last song they wrote on the album. And Tony and Dio kind of looked at each other and was like, end the album on a slow, or this is the last song on the album. Like, do we want to do a fast song or a kind of a slower song? They looked at each other and said fast. Um, Not making that up. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. But yeah, I love when Dio says, run, run, run. And then it's kind of Tony is building up his guitar with each time he says run, and then it just explodes into this another great solo. Just another fantastic Dio and Iommi collaboration. Fantastic song. All right, next song on the album is called Walk Away, and this is without a doubt the most filler song on the album. It's oddly upbeat, and I say that in a negative way. It has this odd happy feel that really none of the other songs on the album have. Um, I guess if I had to give it a point somewhere, it's sort of about temptation and about walking away from someone that you should walk away from. Maybe they're trying to tempt you with a deal or something of that nature. It's yeah, just musically, it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb on the album. It's got a decent solo, I will say that. It's got a decent solo from Tony, but other than that, it's pretty fillerish, and I skip it most of the time. All right, next song on the album is called "Lonely Is the Word," not "Lonely Is the World," because I know some people um, mistake the lyrics and say "world," but it's "Lonely Is the Word," and great intro riff from Tony. Like I can't even. It's it's kind of hard to describe why it's great. It just is. You need to go listen to it right after you comment on this video, and yeah, and you'll listen to it right after that. Um, Let me know what you think. So, yeah, lonely is the word. And you get the sense that this is like a traveling man's story. Just kind of a journeyman through life, sort of. Um, and what the story is portraying, at least in my eyes, I've been higher than stardust. I've been seen among the sun. I used to count in millions. Now I only count in ones. Quite possibly a man that lost it all. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's just physical possessions. Maybe he put too much put too much value in the physical things and didn't put too much time in the emotional things or like relationships he could have had. I get the very strong sense that he's talking about, he lost all his material or physical possessions, and now he's just like, just crying out in anguish about it. With that being said, the story lyrically is very short, and for the last minute and a half, something like that. Sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, about minute and a half, last minute of the half of the song. Blah, sorry. Um, Tony is like playing out. It's like the rest of the band was playing great, and now Tony has this great spotlight on him to kind of play out the album. It's almost like he said, "All right, guys, I'm gonna take us home, and I'm gonna wrap this thing up," and he like did it in the best way. It's almost like he said, "Okay, guys, watch this." it's it's just great. Just wraps up a fantastic album, and Tony is just playing some great licks. to end the song and end the album. All right, so that's pretty much it. 9 songs. Um, I'm not sure how long it is, but yeah, 9 songs. And so this album, for me, it's got some great high points, and it's got some points that are kind of hit and miss. And for me, this album is very easy to kind of differentiate. It's very easy to kind of split things into 2 categories, if not a third category for a song that's kind of like, meh, like sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I don't. Because when this album has filler moments, they're still good songs, but I would not blame you if you skipped them every once in a while. But then it has some great peak moments that could, you know, climb the top of any mountain, because like that's how great it is. It needs to be on that it needs to be on that mountain peak, because when this album is meh, it's meh. But when this album is good, it's great. It's a good intro to your new lead singer, just kind of a intro of the 80s. It's painfully ironic that this album started the 80s for this band, because they got exactly a decade with Ozzy. So it's sort of like, new lead singer, new decade, new everything, but we're still going to do it well. And even though we've got this new lead singer, we're still gonna kick your ass and knock it out of the park. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you guys.